Hi, I'd like to welcome you to week 2 of the St. Aidans Institute course on discipleship. Now, this week we're going to look at some biblical models of discipleship and try to step back a little bit and get a better feel for different ways of understanding what discipleship is. Coming in it from an American culture, a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that discipleship is what you do. That if you take this class, then you're a good disciple. You take this program, or you engage in this spiritual discipline, or you do these specific concrete things, that by what you do, you're defining it. And that's a very American phenomenon. You meet people for the first time, one of the first questions that's usually asked is, what do you do? And the reason for that is by knowing what somebody does for work, you kind of then develop a judgment or an opinion about who they are as a person. So what we do very much can be seen as the definition of who we are. And it's wildly incorrect. It's wildly inaccurate. And so part of the question for us this week is we start looking at specific spiritual disciplines and specific practices and specific things that we're called to do as Christians. The question is, who are we? Who are you? And what you do matters, but it doesn't define you. What defines you is who you are as a Christian, not just what you do. And it's a very hard thing for a lot of folks to understand. I remember in the first couple of churches I served, I was not always an Anglican. I started as a Congregationalist minister. And in congregational churches are run by a number of committees. You can have anywhere from 6 to 12 or more committees in a church, and the role of the senior minister is to run from committee to committee to committee and trying to coordinate all the work that's being done by all of them. And what ends up happening is the functioning of the committees inadvertently becomes the focus of the life of the parish. And so what happens is you talk to someone about their spiritual development, and if they don't have a very mature one, what they'll often do is respond by saying what committees they've been on. So you say, well, tell me about your life with God. And they'll say, well, first I was on the property committee, and then I was on the education committee. And they somehow see that what they do is the definition of their faith and their formation. And it's really not, that's not healthy, and that's not really accurate in terms of what we're called to be as followers of Christ. And so this week, as we engage in our readings and wrestle with them, that's something I'd like you to be thinking about. When we talk about what we do, it matters because we should be doing things. We should be engaged in prayer, engaged in Bible study, engaged in service to the community. But our discipleship goes a lot deeper than that. It's the very core of who we are. And so what I'd like you to wrestle with most is the question of, how do we teach that in our parish? How do we help other people see that what they do is only a part of a wider definition of who they are as followers of Christ? So grapple with that. We had a very good first week, and I think the course is now running at full speed, so I look forward to seeing all your posts. Please be sure to get them in on time, and we'll have a great week, and I'll see you in the classroom. God bless you.